Hey, it's the champ Antonio Tarver, and you're listening to TarversTake. Hey guys, I want to get right into it. February 8th, man, big fight live from Las Vegas. It gets started early this week, Thursday night boxing on ESPN. And they got a big doubleheader, man, starting with we're gonna start with the undercard. Keyshawn Davis versus Jose Pedraza in a 10-round lightweight feature, man. And Keyshawn Davis has proven to be the best talent from 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, which he received a silver medalist and also received a silver medalist in the Pan American Games, if I'm not mistaken, but proven to be the top fighter in the Olympics, outside of the gold medalist. So he's a proven talent. They're moving him fast. He's on the fast track. He's only had 10 fights, 9 wins, and 1 no contest in his last fight. Yeah, but he's moving along great, man. Right now, he's facing a guy in Pedroza that's faced a lot of the top lightweight competition. Hasn't won in any of those major fights, but he did fight them competitively. Fought Lomachenko to a decision, fought Tank Davis, Abdul Wahid, fought him. Tank was the only guy that knocked him out, and he did it late. Pedroza was giving him some good rounds, but never really was able to take control in any of those fights when he fought the top tier talent. But competed very, very well. Here's a guy also have Olympic history, didn't perform well internationally, but has some experience. And you saw him against Tank and Lomo. He throws his punches. It's his defense, and his defense, lack thereof, keeps these other guys, out front of Jose Pedroza, man. And that's what he's going to have to really tighten up with Keyshawn Davis, being a guy with speed, with timing, and he's one of the best counterpunchers. If you see him, he can go to the body well. I would like to see him use that left hand a lot more. A lot of time, he's posing with it in the breadbasket, emulating somewhat of a shoulder roll. A lot of the young fighters are doing that now. But my thing is, I like to see these guys stay in their form, hands high, working behind a good jab, because when you move up in competition, when you fight these other ultra talented fighters, you ain't going to be able to have your hand down low, because these guys are fast enough, accurate enough, and they place their punches well enough where they can hit you with a good shot or set you up with a combination. So those are some of the things I think Keyshawn Davis just need to tighten up on a little bit, and that comes along with experience. He'll get that as he face better opposition. He'll know that, though, these little details, you have to tighten up, man, when you're in there with other real champions, other real fighters. These guys only have to have, 1 inch, you feel me, to get off what they need to get off. So as he move along, he'll find himself getting caught with some stuff that, he don't like to get caught with. And then naturally, he'll bring that hand up. You know what I'm saying? If he working that jab, that allow him to set up more of his counter shots. But I think this fight is going to be competitive. We're looking for Keyshawn Davis to make a statement here, though. When you look at the only fighter to stop Pedroza was Wahid, was Abdul Wahid, formerly known as Tank Davis, Javante Davis. So, Keyshawn can make a statement tonight and Thursday night, and show the world that he's continually to improve. You know what I mean? He has Crawford's trainer, you know what I mean? Bomac, which that's going to be great for a young fighter like Keyshawn Davis, getting those lessons right there, and watching a guy like Terrence Crawford and a guy like Shakur Stevenson. These are the guys that I feel really have the right mindset when you look at how they've worked with young fighters. Shakur Stevenson being one of his proteges coming up under him, and now you got Keyshawn Davis, man. I like to see, champions make it up there and then, throw that olive branch down or even that ladder, man, to help these guys up. We don't have any handlers in the business of boxing anymore. So I love to see champions, showing these guys the way, man. And that's always a good thing. These guys can learn from a guy that has been where they're trying to go. So, I think this is going to be a hell of a fight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, man. And these are a young guy that really has the right. When you look at temperament, I think Keyshawn Davis he's ultra confident in himself. You see, he don't mind, getting there with guys with 34, 35 fight experience. So, I think, Keyshawn Davis is on that fast track for a reason, man. He's shown the aggressiveness, and he's shown that he's made the transition from amateur to pro. When you look at, he's starting to sit down better on his combinations, trying to, put GPS on those shots. And when he hits you with those punches, you don't see, man, you can see the effects. So I would, advise Keyshawn, man, to put those punches in combination instead of looking for so much of the power. Those knockouts are going to come, but start digging to the body a little bit earlier, and you'll find out that those guys aren't as strong around 7, 8, 9, or 10. So that's just a little, advice coming from the champ, man. Like I said, I'm excited about Keyshawn Davis and his future. He's, following in the footsteps of guys like Tank Davis. When you're looking at, they're trying to get those fighters, that these great fighters have faced, so that they can do comparisons. You always want to do comparison. How did he look and how did he perform when he was in there with the same fighter, that Lomachenko was in there with, and Tank Davis, formerly Tank Davis, Abdul Wahid. So, that's why we want to look at this fight very closely and see how it goes. It's going to be important for Davis to stay tight early. You know what I mean? Pedraza usually don't start to wilter around 8, 9 late. You know what I'm saying? So early, it's going to be a contested fight, I believe. And I look for Keyshawn Davis to have an impressive win in this fight. And in the main event, man, we got Teofimo Lopez Jr. going up against Jermaine Ortiz for Lopez's WBO junior welterweight title. And these guys have history all the way back to the amateur days. I believe Teofimo Lopez had a victory over Ortiz. I don't know how that fight went, but when I look at these guys' style, man, I think Jermaine Ortiz looked like the generic version of a Teofimo Lopez. And now he's out to prove that he's not only a generic version, but he might be the real deal. I mean, when I look at Jermaine Ortiz's resume, man, he knows how to fight. He knows how to box. You can see that, the way he throws his hands. He's very active with his feet and with his hand. But a lot of times, when I put him under the microscope, it looks like he's a little anxious in his approach. His approach is still a little amateurish. You feel me? I don't think he's made that pro transition as well as he could have. You mean, because when you look at his punching power or lack thereof, I think that's because a lot of times he's throwing so fast that he don't let the power catch up. You feel me? Sometimes he's moving in so fast, he's causing accidental butts. He's kind of not really understanding the distant part. You feel me? It seems like he's fast, but a lot of times it seems like there's no control on his punches. And I think, that's going to be his Achilles heel in a fight against Teofimo Lopez, because I think Lopez has made that transition to the pro ranks and really pattern his fight game or his fight style more professionally rather than amateurish. And I think that's going to give Lopez the edge in this fight, man. I think Jermaine's is going to compete. He's going to look as if he's on the same level until he's not. And I think it's important that Teofimo Lopez stays in the Eiffel Tower. Don't fight down, bruh. Don't fight down. And when you look at Teofimo last 6 fights, he has 2 unanimous decisions. He has a split decision, 2 split decisions, and 2 knockouts. So when you look at that, he's covered all the boxes. And it's a little inconsistency there. What Teofimo Lopez gonna show up? The pound for pound top 3-4 fighter in the world, or will just Teofimo Lopez without the sauce show up? You feel me? And fight down to Jermaine Lopez Ortiz's level. That right there really gives me pause when I look at this fight, because that can cause this fight to be a lot closer than some would think. And I think Teofimo Lopez is going to have to get that mental edge. And I think when it comes down to heart, I think Lopez is check all the boxes again. I think Lopez, this fight comes down to classes. Is Jermaine Ortiz really an A-class fighter? And I think we're going to see that Thursday night. But I like Teofimo Lopez to figure it out, even though I think early on, Ortiz has a better chance to make this fight competitive. But I believe as long as this fight goes, it starts to favor Teofimo Lopez down the stretch. I think when you look at the time Ortiz fought Lomo, that was the case. You know what I mean? Lomo took over the late rounds, championship rounds, where he had Ortiz backing up, retreating. But Ortiz was still there, just wasn't able to execute any of his offensive arsenal. He was throwing but wasn't landing. He was getting countered. And I imagine if Teofimo Lopez is on his A game and ready to make a statement, which he needs to make a statement on Thursday night rather than a weekend, Super Bowl weekend, I might add, but I don't know how many people are going to be there as early as Thursday to get into boxing and support this Teofimo Lopez in Vegas. I'm going to try to get out there, man, still working on it. But if I'm going to get out there, you're going to know TarversTake going to be in the place, and we're going to be giving it to you, man. All the behind the scenes and all the action from Vegas, this weekend. So I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be able to make it out there. I should know by Thursday. And if I'm out there, man, it's definitely going to be to take in this fight and bring you TarversTake live from Las Vegas. Well, there you have it. You've been listening to TarversTake, man. And I want to thank you guys for continued support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go over to YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Man, I love your comments on TarversTake. We're going to want to do more, get the fans interaction. So if you want to drop me a line on YouTube, send me a message, man. Let me know what fights I should be covering. Let me know what fighter I should be putting under the microscope. If you have a young talent out there that you think I need to, put under the microscope, or at least look at, give me his name. I definitely will do that. And let me know what fights you want me to cover, what fights you want me to put on TarversTake. I want my fans to really get involved here, man. On the more the merrier, man. I want to do more. I want to bring more TarversTake to you guys. So let's get the word out. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, TarversTake. Until the next time, stay tapped in, and I'll talk to you then.